There comes a moment when the entire idea of manifestation feels absurd, because you realize there is nothing to manifest. Everything already exists. Every version of you, every possibility, every timeline, it's all coded in the quantum field. The only variable is the state you occupy. I used to chase outcomes the way a beggar chases coins, hoping the world would reward my striving. Then I discovered a paradox that ended the chase forever. Time only waits for the state that creates. Not for your affirmations, not for your rituals, not for your effort, only for your state. The universe moves when you do, internally. We've been trained to reverse the natural order. We think we must earn, hustle, manifest. But manifestation is not achievement, it's physics. Consciousness projects its own reflection. You are not attracting, you are selecting. The external is a screen, the mind is the projector. Change the real, and the movie changes. No negotiation. That's why I say, I'm too rich to care about manifestation, not because I own everything, but because I finally understand what ownership means. Abundance is not the accumulation of things. It's the knowing that nothing is missing. You stop begging reality to cooperate when you realize you're the author of it. Think of your life like two simultaneous movies. The inner film runs in your imagination, invisible but absolute. The outer film, the world you see, is a delayed playback of that inner footage. Every scene outside is the echo of an inner frame. The delay is not punishment, it's mercy. It gives you time to edit. But most people don't edit. They panic. They see lack in the outer world and import it back into the inner film. The feedback loop begins. They react to the echo, and the echo replays. Lack creates lack. Doubt creates delay. Fear creates proof of fear. The cycle continues until awareness interrupts it. That interruption is the factory reset, the moment you stop producing the same output. Picture yourself as a vast factory, and the outer world as your assembly line. Whatever you keep feeling and declaring gets manufactured endlessly. The workers don't argue, they fulfill your latest order. You said, "I'm worried," order confirmed. "I'm overwhelmed," shipment on the way. But the instant you declare a new instruction, "I am wealthy," complete, certain, the system retools. The production line obeys consciousness, not circumstance. Wealth, then, is not a number, it's an atmosphere. A frequency that says, "I already have everything I need." The world reflects this with the precision of a mirror. When you walk through life as someone who knows abundance is normal, the universe rearranges itself to agree with you. Opportunities seem random, but they are synchronized responses to your broadcast. This is why the poor stay poor even when they win money. They never changed their frequency. They remained identified with lack. The universe didn't punish them. It just obeyed. Consciousness is impartial. It doesn't give you what you deserve. It gives you what you are. So stop asking how long will it take. Time has no say here. Time is an illusion of resistance. Reality is not waiting for alignment. It is waiting for you to stop doubting it. When the state stabilizes, the reflection stabilizes. The only waiting is the time it takes for you to decide. Imagine pressing play on a Netflix movie. You don't beg it to start. You trust the story will unfold because you pressed play. Manifestation is no different. The moment you declare, "It's done," the movie begins. The middle scenes, the bills, the chaos, the contrast, are not setbacks, they're narrative tension. You don't stop a movie halfway because the hero is struggling. You keep watching because you know the ending. Faith is that confidence in your own storyline. There's only one real law, the law of knowing. Not believing, not hoping, knowing. Belief still contains doubt. Hope implies absence. Knowing ends the search. Knowing is the consciousness of completion vibrating now. That vibration collapses the timeline instantly. You are not manifesting wealth. You are remembering your nature as wealth. To live from this law is to walk with quiet authority. You no longer ask for proof. You recognize the proof is you. The external world becomes secondary, a hologram adjusting to your inner tone. You stop being impressed by appearances. The unpaid bill, the empty inbox, the silence. All background noise. You hold your state like a king holds posture. You don't react. You reign. When you stop reacting, you stop sinning against yourself. Sin, in this context, means falling out of alignment with your true nature. Every time you doubt, you're temporarily worshiping a false god, the god of separation, the idol of lack. But forgiveness is instant. The moment you remember, I get to have it all, the fall ends, the return begins. You're reborn as the version who never left abundance. You don't need to repeat affirmations like a machine. You need to identify with the truth until it becomes self-evident. I am rich stops being a mantra and becomes a memory. And then, ironically, you no longer care about manifestation, because you are it. Let's make this tangible. Suppose you open your banking app and see scarcity. The old you reacts. The new you smiles. You say, this is a frame from an older film. You don't argue with it. You just stop starring in it. You know that the real is already changing. You stay calm not because you're naive, but because you understand causality. The outer world always lags behind the inner by a few frames. Patience isn't waiting, it's remembering the order of creation. The state of knowing feels weightless. You're not chasing wealth, you're radiating it. You dress differently, breathe slower, move deliberately. You speak from fullness instead of need. People sense it before they understand it. They call it luck. It's coherence. The field responds to coherence, like a tuning fork meeting its match. This is the ultimate reversal. Stop trying to make reality prove you're rich. Prove it to yourself first, and reality will bow. External evidence is a mirror, not an evaluator. You don't fix your reflection by touching the glass. Understand, the universe is not emotional. It's mathematical. It doesn't respond to pleading. It responds to precision. Precision of vibration, of identity, of assumption. When you decide who you are, reality must render it. Every time you waver, you're reopening negotiations with a world that was already willing to agree. Hold the state instead. Live as if the deal is done. When doubt whispers, remember, time only waits for the state that creates. If it hasn't shown up yet, it's not because it's far away. It's because you're still toggling between frequencies. The delay ends the instant your certainty stabilizes. So start now. Wake up tomorrow and declare, I am too rich to care about manifestation, too wealthy to chase, too complete to compete. This isn't arrogance. It's spiritual accuracy. God doesn't hope. God knows. And you are that same knowing wearing human form. Walk through the day as the cause, not the effect. Speak less, feel more. Instead of asking when, ask, who am I right now? Because once you answer that truthfully, the question of when dissolves. Creation is finished. You are merely remembering which version of it you're tuned to. There are no steps, no ladders, no rituals, only state. The state is the key, the gate, and the garden. Hold it long enough, and the illusion of waiting evaporates. What you call manifestation becomes what it always was. Reality rearranging to confirm your conviction. And in that moment, something miraculous happens. You stop desiring proof and become the proof. You stop chasing outcomes and start emanating wholeness. The external world can no longer seduce or scare you, because it's too late. You've remembered who you are. You are wealth itself, limitless, effortless, and eternal. That's why I say it without irony, without apology. I am too rich to care about manifestation. Because once you know, you stop asking, and once you stop asking, everything starts arriving.